Hello everyone, it's Manson, and today we're going to be going over how to track an object with After Effects Mocha and be able to add our labels onto objects in our scene. So to give you an example, I'm just going to play a clip. So there we had our label and also our target head-up display that I showed you guys how to do in an earlier tutorial. If you don't know how to do that, then you should definitely check out that tutorial. So let's jump right into After Effects. So here I already imported my scenes, and if you're wondering how to do that, a shortcut is Command-I, and then you can just select your file. So to create a new composition, I'm going to just drag it onto the area here. And the first thing I'm going to do with that layer still selected is Animation and Track in Mocha AE. So I'm just going to register later. And Mocha Track Tutorial is what I'm going to name this. Alright, so if you see these red things over here, that indicates your work area. So you can see in the top left-hand corner, it's scrubbing through. So I kind of want to track around up to here and scrub through around there. Let's move this. Alright, so from here we're going to grab our pen tool with the X and just trace over our object that we want to trace. So it's very similar to Illustrator, where you're just making lines with anchor points. And at any time, if you wanted to just stop tracing, you could, with your mouse, right-click and it'll just finish up the loop, or you could do what I'm doing and just close it off yourself like this. It usually tracks a little bit better if you have less anchor points. You can always come back in here and tweak them. And you can also delete anchor points if you wanted to. So if I wanted to delete, let's say this one, I can always delete them. And move them in. It doesn't have to be perfect. Looks like some sort of spiky orange now, which is great. So now we're going to press track forwards here, and it's going to start tracking our image. So you can see that the little spikes here and the outline is resizing according to our little molecule. It's not doing it perfectly, but it's pretty close and good enough for what we want to do. So now that that is tracked, so that was super fast and easy, you can export tracking data. From here, select After Effects Transform Data, Anchor Point, Position, Scale, and Rotation. And what that will do is copy all of the information of the anchor point, position, scale, and rotation of what you just tracked. So let's copy to clipboard, And let's jump back to our After Effects file. From here, you want your time indicator to be where your tracking, where your tracking started. So it was somewhere around, it was here. And let's create, before we do that, let's create a null. So Shift Option Command Y will create a new null. And from here, let's just Command V, paste all that information. As you can see, now you have all these keyframes that you're tracking. That's great. Now let's add our text. So let's start again at the beginning, or anywhere, and let's type RNA polymerase. And let's move this to a position that we want. So actually I'm going to go to my last frame. Oops, sorry. Over here. And let's pick whip this to our null. So now it will follow our null. That looks kind of wonky right now. And to rectify that, we can delete the anchor point keyframes because we don't really need that, and also delete the rotation keyframes because we also don't really need that. And from our text, let's press R. We can rotate it to a position that's a little bit better. Something like that. And if you move it, it'll change its position. So from here, cool. So I feel like our font is a little small right now. So let's just increase our font size a little bit, like that. And I'm also going to change my font to Railway just because I like it a little bit more. And let's make sure that it's within title action safe, and it's not. Let's move it over here. Great. So let's add a little bit of, sorry, you still want to see the keyframes. So let's have it fade in with a blur. So from here, type fast blur, drag that on here. And let's have it blurry here. So effects, flash blur, blurriness. Let's set it to, let's say, 70. And let's keyframe that. And once it gets to around here, Let's do 0. So now, there you go. And then we want it to, we would want it to fade out as well. So from here, let's just copy and paste the keyframes we had from before. Somewhere like that. And then maybe space it out a little bit. Like so. Let's play that. It's looking decent. Probably want our label to maybe stay a little longer even. Let's play that again. Awesome. Move this up a little. Okay. So next what we're going to do is add our head-up display, our target. And it's the same idea. I don't know if this is actually a good design choice because it's a little distracting, I'm finding it, but that's okay. So, oops. Let's go back to our projects menu. From here, head up display from our previous file that we were working on. Let's place it here. So, same idea, just whip it to the null so that it's moving with the null now. Obviously nowhere close to where you want it to be, so let's scale this. Press S, make it smaller, and let's move this to here. So I want to go kind of near the last keyframe so that I can make sure that this circle encompasses the entire molecule at the end. So that's looking okay. You might want to move our text down a little bit. And we're almost done. So I'm going to be applying the same blur that we did with our text. So what we can just do is from here, copy and paste the fast blur onto this layer. And it'll keyframe everything as well. And that's it. And we're pretty much done. So from here, so what we probably want to do is make the opacity 0 here too, so it doesn't stay there. So it's actually kind of weird because it's copied and pasted. So this should be Ah, I see. Okay, so from here, let's get our transparency, and let's make this 0 and keyframe that. Then here, 100%. So now it's going to fade away. Maybe we want this to start a little bit sooner. Something like that. And then the same thing over here. In the beginning, we don't really want all that white stuff. So let's also make sure that it's transparent here, here, and copy, paste. There you go. So that's it. You're done. So thanks for watching, and thanks for listening to my rambling. Hopefully that was helpful. And now you can make your own labels and easily track them.